I'm Jennie McGuire, and this is my show, Into Light, at the Chester Art Center. I came up with the idea when Sue asked me to do a show here, to have it coincide with the Chinese New Year and the new lunar cycle. So grab yourself a fortune cookie.
Thank you, Jennie.
And let's walk around the show and we'll explain what my intention was.
What a beautiful body of work. You've worked extremely hard. How long did it take you to pull these amazing pieces together, Jennie?
Well, I had a couple of them done in the fall, and when I was asked to do the show, then the push really started. So it's been over about an 8-week period, and
It's amazing.
solstice comes the dark. And as we move towards the spring equinox, we move out of darkness into light, and this is how I came up with the name of the show. So we're going to start going clockwise around the gallery, from the darker pieces into the transitional pieces, and then into the light.
These are so dramatic, Jennie. I love them, and I do love the light in it. It is so inspirational.
This one is the first abstract I ever did 12 years ago, after my mother passed. And I was visiting a friend in Austin, and she said, "You've got to start doing something a little freer and a little more wild." And this is what came out. And I thought it was appropriate to put it into this collection because it started me on the path to abstract.
And then the next three are fascinating. I particularly love this one. You can read so much into it. There's so much happening in it.
This is the transitional piece, and it's called Transition. And how we often feel when we're going through the winter and the very dark days, and that first feeling of hope that you get when you see that the sun is rising a little earlier and when the sun is going down a little later.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So Jennie, this pear is very striking. I love the color. It's very dramatic, especially on the white walls. Well, how do you do this? What is your technique?
I like a lot of texture in my paintings. I choose a minimal color palette, and then I like to marry or dovetail the color with the texture. And this creates movement and fluidity and tension and drama, and then hopefully a cohesive piece. But this particular diptych I did on a very large piece of canvas, and I wasn't crazy about it as a one piece, so I cut it in two and had it stretched, and I thought it came together a lot more as a whole unit.
And it has done just that. So let's go on and look at the back wall of the Art Center. And this is just wonderful. They're stunning. Your work is stunning. Could you talk about these pieces?
Okay, again, I'm looking for texture and looking for drama and feelings, I guess. I want people to see something from a distance from the painting that might look very calm and very satisfying, and then when they come up on top of it, they see all the movement and they see the heart or the essence of it. And that's really what I'm trying to achieve with my technique. And naming the pieces, the titles are very ambiguous because I don't want to put any ideas into anyone's head about what it is. They all have their own ideas about how it touches them. And this is a color palette that I don't usually use, the greens and the pale creams. And they're actually inspired by our walks in the fall and the early winter around Graves Island. Every day it's a new canvas over there, and each walk is different. So that's where the greens came into this particular series of paintings. True.
So let's move on around this little corner. Oh, talk about this piece, Jenny. It's called The Journey.
Okay. When I painted it, it was actually painted as flipped the other way, as a longer rectangle, horizontal rectangle.
You mean this, you originally painted it as a horizontal.
Rectangle.
So what made you turn it vertically?
Well, the space in the gallery. But you know, the first few people that came in and looked at the piece said, I feel like it should be around the other way. And we could do nothing. But I do have it wired both ways, and that's another interesting thing about abstract, is that you can hang the piece whichever way you want.
I can see that.
And if you tire of it one way, you just have to turn it another way, and you've got another painting. This piece is called Luna, and we all live on the water here in the hamlet of Chester, and we've all seen that big moon rising over the water.
The blood moon, is that
The
it?
blood moon.
Wow.
So I have many, many photos, and I thought for the new lunar cycle and the celebration of the Chinese New Year, what better
It's perfect.
what better piece than to do the blood moon. And of course, when I had done this, various others came out of it, the talisman and the amulet. Minimalist, and it isn't fussy, and that's what I was going for, because when I look at it in the sky, it is dominating the planet. It's dominating my experience.
Well, it's lovely, and we are so fortunate here at the Art Center to have your work.
I work out of my studio in East Chester, called Tirnano,